Hi, I'm Brent Johnson, and today we're going to Amherst, Massachusetts, to South Church to visit a Casavant organ from 1896. This is, we believe, the oldest Casavant in America. Now, if you've seen these videos, you know we usually have multiple cameras out, one here on one side of the keyboard, one here on the other side of the keyboard. And there's one, you can see it right here in the picture, that we would be talking to that you would normally see my face in. Here we are, weeks out from when we shot this video, and I don't know where that camera's data went. It either wasn't recording or it overheated and shut off. We have everything else from that day, so I'm guessing that something was wrong with the camera during this part of the shoot, and it just didn't capture the images. So you don't get any images of our face. This is the only one you're going to see of me, but we do have little shots off to the side. Marilyn Brayne is the organist here of the church, and she came out on this rainy morning to help demonstrate this restored Casavant organ, and it's a wonderful little instrument, so I'll let Marilyn take it from here.
This organ came from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, from St. Anne's Catholic Church there. And that church at some time closed, and it was disassembled and sat for 60 years.
So they took the organ apart at that time, and
That's
it just
right.
was in storage.
It was in storage.
60 years, wow.
Yes.
Okay, well then how did it end up here?
So a man named Parkman Shaw acquired it. I don't really know how he got it, and he wanted it to go into one of two different churches in Boston, and for reasons unknown to me, it wasn't going to work.
Okay.
So we were able to purchase it from him for $1.
Oh, wow.
And Bill Czelusniak relocated and restored it for us.
When did that come here then?
It came here in 2012.
12, okay, so it hasn't just been here about 10 years.
That's right.
All right, and have you been the organist the whole time this
I
has
have.
been here? So you know this instrument better than anybody. I think we agreed on 16 ranks.
We did.
On 2 manuals. Okay, well, I want to hear some of it. It's got this beautiful Roman-mouthed mantra out here in the front. So let's start with that stuff. Yeah, I want to hear that.
Okay.
Big bold sound there.
Yes.
Right here in our faces, of course, but it fills the room really well. All right, we don't really have a full chorus, but we do add a 4-foot press stand to that to get a 8 and 4. So let me hear what that sounds
Should we hear the same thing?
Sure. I feel like you could probably accompany a hymn on just those 2 stops.
You could.
Pretty easily in here. They fill the room really well.
They do.
Okay. And then we just have 2 other stops in the grate. One is our Melodia. Let me hear the Melodia there.
That's my favorite stop.
Yeah, it's a lovely, clear sound. Just play a little up to the top of it. It really opens up there at the top and just sings out. I should say this is a 58-note compass because it was 1896 and they weren't quite doing 61 notes then. And we have how many? We have 20.
We're just going up to the D.
Yeah, okay, so just
missing
26 pedals. Is that a challenge to adjust to this?
You know, it's okay. There's just, like, I can't play the Vito or Toccata because I need 2 more pedals up there.
Oh, well. All right, so we have one other stop there in the grate, and that is our Dulcian. Yeah, lovely gentle color there. All right. Well, that's everything on the grate side. So now let's go over to the swell. Tell me what we've got in the swell.
So we have a principal 8.
Not nearly as big as the mantra, but it's still a pretty dark, bold diapason sound. All right. This does go up and has some upper work, but our the only 4-foot in this division is a 4-foot flute harmonique. First of all, let me just hear the harmonique by itself. Yeah. Add the principle to that. That brightens it up a bit. And then we have a 2-foot flautino that can go on top of that. And then I was a little surprised to see you have a 3-rank mixture in this swell division.
I do.
That's an interesting addition for the period. Let's see how that sounds. I'm thinking of all the different combinations, knowing what else we have in there,
Yes.
how those work together with other stops. I'm kind of intrigued, but we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Because that's a nice. You can almost accompany him with just that.
Absolutely
just on the
could.
swell and
Yep.
have a nice little echo to your grate. We do have some other 8-foot stops though. We have 3 more 8-foot stops, which is kind of amazing. First of all, the gamba 8-foot. And it has a paired celeste, which is also quite a luxury here. Yeah, lovely. And then we have an 8-foot Borden, I see.
By itself?
Yeah, let's just hear that. Just for comparison, I want to hear the melodia, just to hear how these two flutes. All of the stops in the swell have a gentleness to them. That melodia is much more in our face, but it's literally in our face because it's right
Yes.
here. The swell is back behind the grate.
Right.
But it's nice to have those two different colors. All right, how does the 4-foot flute sound on top of the Borden? Yeah, those blend really well.
Isn't it lovely?
It's just a nice, yeah. And then, of course, we could put the 2-foot flautino on top
Absolutely
of that for your full
could.
chorus there. All right, and we're not done yet. Now we have some reeds in this division. We have an 8-foot hautbois. Let's hear that by itself.
I left you hanging there, didn't I?
All right, and then we have one more reed, a trumpet. Yeah, it's a nice big trumpet, but it's not overly loud. Either of those reeds, I think, probably makes a good solo stop against a great stop.
Absolutely.
Imagine, right?
Yes.
All right. We have a tremolo, which I played with earlier. It's a little ground shaking.
It is a little ground shake. I almost maybe use it once a year.
Yeah, it's well, let's just give it a little, just
On-
to share
what
with
would you like?
everybody. Let's try it with the oboe. So,
With the oboe.
yeah. Okay, so
You
yeah,
have to get rid of that.
that definitely it shakes. It's a little manic there, but
And it's really loud back there.
okay. We do have a pedal stop. It is a 16-foot Borden, which we'll have to move the bench to demonstrate because I moved the bench up earlier so I could play a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'll have a seat and we can hear relative volume there. It's a, your one 16-foot. It's got to do everything, both the loud
does.
and the soft, but well-designed Borden usually will work well for that. I also, again, more luxury in this little thing. You've got not only, swell and grate to pedal,
Yep.
but you've got a swell to grate, and you've got a swell to grate with the word, I believe, is ajout in French for a super coupler. So
Yes.
you can, which is so rare on mechanical action organs of this size.
See, I didn't know that.
That Casavant thought that was important, and you can. It turns all your 8-foot stops into 4-foot stops.
Yes, it
and
does.
all sorts of things you can do. So
Yeah.
this is a lovely little instrument. I should also add you have a swell shoe for that box, but it's way over here on the right side. So is that, I guess by now you've gotten used to where that is. And
This is fine.
you can just grab it. So
Yeah.
and 3 working combination
Yes.
pedals. So that's nice to see. It's so rare that those are all working, but again, this has all been restored
Yes.
and very lovingly so, I can tell.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to come over here on this side, and because there's some things I want to play with the
Yes,
swell. 'Cause
please.
We've got so many great colors here. So one combination you were mentioning, you like the Gamba 8 with the oboe. First of all, just play the oboe by itself. I'm going to add the Gamba.
A little warmth.
A little brightness and a little extra edge
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. I would play that like a solo stop.
Yeah, sure. Just have it
Something
add a
over
little
here.
extra.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if you could if you said had the solo stop and added the 4-foot flute, how does that brighten up the oboe, or what does that change? Okay, yeah. But I really was.
I've never done that.
It's something else you can try. I was
yeah.
curious about this mixture.
Well, he says you have to have the 2-foot with the mixture at the same time.
I was curious what rings it is because it's pretty thin. So if you have the 2-foot, now you got a 4 full ring. But
Yeah.
what happens if you put that on top of the flutes and you play a hymn with the flutes in mixture? You got a real thin sound there, a little more subtle. And then, gosh, I mean, you could even, does it brighten up the Celeste if you add that to the Gamba and the Celeste? First of all, play the Celeste again by themselves. I want just to add a mixture. They're a little loud for that, but here's the Gamba, the Borden, and the mixture. It needs the 2-foot in there.
He said you always have to use the 2-foot.
Well,
he said.
I hate rules with like that. Always have to do
I
that.
thought there
It
was
does
some-
fill out the mixture, and it
Yeah.
does sound better because you get
Yeah.
more of the fundamental. But there are no rules here. We can we
can
do
do
whatever
what we
want. But there's so many
Yeah.
great sounds you can, and they all blend together really well. So there's some great design over there. And of course, you can couple any of those down to
Right.
just the mantra because we don't have as big a grade as one might want. But you don't necessarily need any more because you can just color all of these stops with that. So this is a really well-designed organ. I'm really glad to have met it. So one can get into the organ through panels here on the side. We've got the lower one removed, which lets us look underneath the wind chest. We see the regulator, and all of the woodwork in here has been refinished and just looks like it's brand new. See the stop action above the regulator there. And in the back, if we peek through, we can see there's a chest in the back with some offset pipes. we can see the great chest. Coming around to the other side, there's a door on this side as well. And here we're greeted by the pedal pipes on this side. There are pedal pipes on the other side, but they're a little higher up. This is the low end. Looking back at that chest from there, we can see the action of the pedal chest above us. And then we can open a panel up above using a ladder there that we can reach. And we see the grate pipes. Peeking up onto the very narrow walkboard between the grate and the swell. I believe the forefoot's in the front, the melodia's in the middle, and the dulciana in the back. Scroll tuners inserted there, they've been repaired. Now we're up on the walkboard, and here's the top of the pedal on the right side of the organ, tucked between the swell box and the case. You can see the back of the facade pipes there. Looking down at the great chest. I believe the dulciana is next to the rear and the 4-foot octaves in the back. Now looking the other direction, and we can see a tuning panel to reach the swell reeds. If we peek through the swell shades and squeeze through, we see that the reeds are right here by the shades. And we can look out into the swell box. One has to remove a swell shade in order to get to that walkboard to tune the pipes. Here's a little look at the tubing for the facade pipes. And now we're looking down the side next to the chest, and this is the pedal action. The camera was kind of messing up with me, but it's interesting that the action comes up and then goes horizontal and then goes up and horizontal again. Seems a little overly complicated, but I guess there was a reason they did things that way. And then looking back here, we can see where the blower was installed in this closet. There's the blower on the floor, feeding up into this static regulator above. And then that feeds back down into the organ by going down and through a hole in the wall. And that's the Casavant of South Church in Amherst. I hope you've enjoyed this video. My thanks to Marilyn Brayne for her help in that video. Also to Bill Czelusniak, who let us know about the instrument, and to Grant Moss, who I think also had a part in getting us there. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a thumbs up down below. And if you feel like leaving a comment, we're always welcome to read those. You can leave those down below as well. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel and you click the bell for notifications so you know when the next video comes out. And remember, you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, organlive.com, Positively Baroque, and the Organ Experience. Until next time, I'm Brent Johnson. Thank you for watching.